Good morning, everyone. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us. We're glad that you're here. I'm Steve,
And I'm Scott.
and together we are Backyard Musings, the Science and Technology channel.
Yeah, and we are talking about a space topic this afternoon or this morning, and it's a pretty good one. Involves NASA and the Brits. So they're finally they're going to be contributing. So it sounds like if NASA lets them, and it sounds like they should. So let's talk about it.
This is a cool contribution, too. A
Yeah.
£3 million investment, the pound being the British pound, could help secure a leading UK role in NASA's future search for life on nearby planets. You heard that right, life on nearby planets, exoplanets. An Earth like planet orbiting a nearby star would appear as little more than a dim point beside a light source 10 billion times brighter. British astronomers are preparing technology that could help NASA separate that faint planetary signal from the glare and search its atmosphere for possible evidence of life. Would you like to know more?
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, the UK Space Agency, which is the UKSA, has awarded researchers £3 million to continue developing a proposed core instrument for NASA's Habitable Worlds Observatory. Expected to launch in the 2040s, HWO is planned as NASA's next flagship space telescope after the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope. The latest funding expands a series of UK-led instrument studies that have already been shared with NASA. Those studies are helping guide the observatory as it enters its next stage of development. So, very cool.
So I'm thinking of this, and I'm thinking it said, NASA, or sorry, UK space agency. I wonder if Russia has a space agency. Well, I'm sure they do to get cosmonauts into orbit. Okay, but do they have telescopes looking at planets? That's what I'd be very interested in knowing if they have that.
You mean if they're doing for future studies or if they're just
Yeah,
concentrating, you know,
or if they're just concentrating here in our solar system. Yeah,
copying us basically. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I mean, back in the 50s, they were involved in it
Space
as much
race.
as we were. Yeah, and I think they actually beat us into space
They did.
with
Yuri
Sputnik.
Gagarin.
Yeah, that was back in the mid to late 50s. So, um, but yeah, the only problem with them right now is that I think most of their finances are going towards the war effort, and so I don't know, but it'd be cool if everybody collaborated. I mean, kind of like the space station, right? There's been collaboration of several countries up there, and that's what it's all about. At least up there, that hasn't been polluted or propagandized yet. So it's cool.
Yeah, it's life or death up there. That's why.
Yeah.
All right, directly imaging a planet resembling Earth will require extraordinary control. HWO's 8-meter mirror, that's more than 24 feet wide,
Mm-hmm.
8-meter mirror will need to remain stable to within roughly the width of an atom while the telescope blocks the overwhelming light of the planet's host star. That's got to be difficult. You're in space and you got these little thrusters firing to keep you, from twisting or turning. That's got to be hard. Not like you throw an anchor out there.
Well, or trying to steady a boat or a ship in a not so calm water, right? Same idea.
Exactly.
Even with the anchor, you're rocking and rolling. So
Exactly.
the challenge has been compared to trying to photograph a moth beside a flamethrower, which Steve has, by the way. Unless the starlight is suppressed with extreme precision, the much weaker light reflected by the planet would disappear in the glare.
So just to be clear, I have not tried to photograph a moth beside a flamethrower, but I do have a flamethrower.
Right. For weeding and protection.
And de-icing the driveway.
De-icing. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. Especially now, it came in real handy when he was living in Apple Valley. But now that he's in Michigan, that's that tool is hanging on the wall in the garage.
We won't mention anything about California and the flamethrower, okay?
Oh, okay.
UK researchers are leading work on HWO's proposed high-res imager, HRI, and multi-object spectrograph, MOS, which are expected to become central components of the observatory. The new £3 million award from UKSA will allow the group to increase the scale of its efforts and advance the technologies required to turn the instrument designs into working hardware. It builds on earlier studies while substantially broadening the development of the program. So let's go to the next. Oh, I didn't even have the. There we go. That's what the concept, what it looks like. I should have had that up right at the beginning. And let's advance it one. There we go. There's a schematic.
That's a better diagram of it right there. So cool. The collaboration brings together researchers from Durham University, the Open University, the University of Leicester, RAL Space, the University of Portsmouth, the University of Oxford, and UK's Astronomy Technology Centre, and UCL's Mullard Space Science Laboratory.
Now that's collaboration right there.
Yeah.
Almost like
it sounds like those are all maybe British though.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But still, that's good.
The telescope is not expected to begin operating for about 2 decades. Oh my gosh. What was that? 2046?
Yeah.
That means many of the younger scientists working in British research today will be responsible for using its data and leading its discoveries when the mission launches. And Scott, you've talked about this, that these programs like JPL take so long that the scientists who start them, they don't really get to see the fruits, like Voyager. They don't get to see the fruits of, it's the next generation that sees it.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that most of the people that worked on the Voyager when it originally came to fruition are probably
dead,
either retired or have passed away. So
yeah.
Those researchers are currently facing considerable uncertainty as funding cuts affect institutions and scientific programs across the country. Barstow, who's Barstow?
One of the authors. Sorry, one of the authors.
Okay. Barstow warned that developing the hardware alone will not guarantee a meaningful British role in the mission.
So here we got another slide of the concept of it. And I guess that 8-meter mirror is inside of that. Looks like a coffin almost, doesn't it, Scott?
It does. Yeah, that's a very interesting or odd looking. I mean, when you think about a telescope, you usually think about something that's round, right? Round and long, like a tube. And that is anything but a tube. That's pretty cool.
It looks like that should rather be shooting a death laser at a planet or something like that, you know?
Right. Yeah. Star Wars-esque, actually. Definitely. Yeah. So,
according to the authors, long-term support will be necessary to preserve both the technical skills needed to build the UK's contribution and the scientific knowledge required to make full use of the observatory.
HWO's primary objective will be to identify Earth-like planets around nearby stars and analyze their atmospheres for possible evidence of life. Instead of attempting to survey the entire Milky Way, the observatory will concentrate on Earth's local cosmic neighborhood. Astronomers expected to directly examine potentially Earth-like worlds around stars within about 30 light years and search their atmospheres for chemical signs that could be associated with life.
Okay. The telescope will also operate as a general purpose observatory. Like the Hubble Space Telescope and James Webb Space Telescope, it is expected to support research ranging from planets and stars to distant galaxies and the history of the universe.
NASA will lead the project, while international partners are expected to supply major parts of the observatory. The UK plans to design and construct one of the cameras positioned at the telescope's focal plane, where incoming light will be collected for scientific measurements. British researchers also expect to contribute to additional systems.
During the past 3 years, the UK astronomy community has organized national workshops with support from Science and Technology Facilities Council. These meetings have brought universities, laboratories, and industry together to identify specific priorities and coordinate the country's possible role.
British scientists previously made important contributions to the Hubble mission. I didn't know that. And led the European consortium responsible for the mid-infrared instrument, or the MIRI, aboard the James Webb Space Telescope. The next round of UK instrument studies is expected to start next month, while NASA continues developing the HWO with scientists and engineers from around the world. So, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So too bad it's going to take 2 decades, but at least it's progress, you know?
Yeah. So that, again, not to sound morbid or anything, but that when that thing happens, I probably will not be breathing. So, which is cool. You know, my kids and my grandkids hopefully will. Who knows? They might even be part of it 20 years from now. So
I wonder if this telescope will be able to zero in on Mars to see, like, if we're building a habitat, if it can look out thousands of light years, hundreds of light years away, maybe it could put Mars in big focus and see what's going on the surface.
yeah, and by then maybe you'll be able to tap into that on an app, and everybody can watch. You know, kind of like watching these eagles that we have up here in Big Bear. You know, there's everybody can get on board and watch those things. And a few years ago, you didn't have the ability to do that, and now it's open to the public. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me a bit if that's what happens. People will be able to watch the stuff just on an application. So very cool.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll catch you in the afternoon.
Take care. We'll see you on the next one.